Alrighty, back at it again just before work here. So as per usual, give me a second and I will pop out the chats and shit. Pop out. Pop out and pop out. Wait a minute. What happened to Snowrunner? Give me a sec. There we go. Okay, kill that. Close that saving. We'll leave that up. It's funny, I spent all this time pulling all these chats out of these various sites, and almost nobody ever does chat. I think I've had more bots come in and try and sell me services than I've had people. Weird. So yeah, I went out for a walk at like 3:45 this morning. It's pretty decent. Didn't smell as good as I was expecting. We're getting some smoke into the area again, which is kind of annoying with all the rain. The freshness is kind of gone, and now it's turning into this other smell. As there's just a lot of, I think we're starting to have mushrooms popping up in the lawn and stuff. It's, yeah, it's not good. And there was a skunk in the area. At least I assume that was the case. Sometimes it's guys smoking pot, but I'm pretty sure it was a skunk. Although by the time I did my rounds and got back to the house, it was a lot less. So he must have moved on, or whoever was smoking it moved on. Fuel semi-trailer delivered to here. Does that get me anything? Don't know. I've got no one in the area. Fuel semi-trailer. Which type is it? Okay, that's the type that needs, I think it's a saddle low. Thought that said old fart for a second. Fuck. Oh, man. Okay. What do we got here? Okay, he does not have... And he's got saddle high, so that's not going to work. Alright, so we are close to the reactive zone. There's a garage. Way over there. Oh, and straight down, that works perfect. Got really quiet all of a sudden, what the fuck? Okay, he's the next bigger truck on the list. Is it just me, or is the volume a little extra low? So again, the power to weight this thing, it's nice to have it though, but yeah, we'll bring it. You never know when you might need to help another vehicle. You know, I was just thinking about something, and it is gone. Okay, so it's a task on this. Okay. We will head down. Wish I could remember what the hell I was thinking about. Kind of annoying. You know what? He's the same type. Let's just double check that this is the right saddle before we drive all the way down there. And then find out we need a saddle high. Well, I'm almost positive it's a low we need. Good enough. I've been stewing about something from work. Kind of wondering if I should talk about it or not. I'm kind of thinking maybe I will, just so it's out there and then I don't have to think about it anymore. I won't be thinking about, well, I'll still be thinking about it, won't I? Long story short, my boss is screwing me out of a fair amount of money for himself. So we have an on-call rotation, right? There's 4 guys on the team. I think I'm the only one of the 4. I have, I think, the most seniority, pretty sure, so I've got the most vacation time, which is 6 weeks. So okay, that factors in. I can't be on call when I'm on vacation, obviously. And I've also got earned days off, which is you work a little extra hours every day, and you get an extra day off every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks I get a Friday that I get off, which is kind of nice. But again, I can't go on call on weeks where I've got that day off. So I was looking into it, and this means basically I have less odds of getting an on-call. So we go on call like on a 7-day rotation, so starting middle of the week. So we go Wednesday to Tuesday. So every other week I can go, as long as I'm not on vacation, which, you know, there's still a lot of weeks in the year. But I had a look at it, and just because of things recently, and I'm massively lower amount of on-call compared to everybody else. And I mean, that's money that I'm not making. So my wife noticed this last year. She's like, you know, you don't get a lot of stats, which is statutory holidays. For those, you get paid a whole day's pay. Normal days, you just get 1 hour. Normal work days. Weekends, you get paid 2 hours for being on call. So, okay, yeah, here we are. Good. So, you know, you kind of want to get the... yeah, we'll go this way. You kind of want to get those stat holidays. I think going this way, even though it's longer, well, there's this. And this is a bit of a pain in the ass to get through. It's still got to be better than coming all the way down here. Then again, I wonder how bad that is. I think the last time I came down this way, and this was like bigger than I thought, and it was going to be a huge pain in the ass. Alright, we'll head back this way. What the hell? This part here is going to be a pain, but... Bum, 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 bum. I wonder if I can go down the railway track here. Might be better than... I don't think this way was overly bad, though. It looks it, but I'm pretty sure it was okay. So we'll try that. So, yeah, so this year I worked all my vacations around... Usually I incorporate, you know, if there's a holiday, right, you want to incorporate that into any vacation you take, because one, it's a free day. It doesn't take up a vacation day that you have stored up. And it makes your vacations, you know, just a little bit longer, which is nice. So this year, instead of taking, because I usually take 4 weeks in the summer, all as one big chunk, I broke it into two-week chunks with 3 weeks in the middle, where I could get, there was a stat holiday right in there, and right after the second chunk, there's also a statutory holiday where I'm also available. No EDO, I can do it. And because I figured I would get it, because I have, I'm kind of like mixed up, right? Because I mean, I haven't been on call for a certain amount of time, and everybody else has. So you know, just fair whether people want it or, you know, don't want it or whatever the case. Like, it's just a fair distribution that I would get it next. And what ended up happening in the middle there, I was figuring I was going to get it, and no, my boss took it. He gets paid a lot more than me too, so he's getting a lot more pay when he's doing these on-call things. And then after the vacation, I figured, okay, well, I'll get this one, right? Maybe it's just, you know, whatever. Nope, same fucking thing happened. So it's like one of the other guys, there's 4 of us, right? And then one of the other guys, and then it was him, and then it was one of the other guys, and then it should have been me, and it was him again. And that's pretty much what happened both times. So I bugged him about this week, because today would have been the first day, or last night, I guess. And I was like, you know, hey, I can do this. It's been 9 weeks since the last time I was on call, you know, and it's fair if I get it there and stuff. He's like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. It's all been taken care of. And you're on here and here. Like, another 2 weeks down the road, I'll be the first time I've been on. So it'll be 11 weeks since I've been on call. So yeah, I've just been stewing about that and wondering if I should escalate that, because I do, his boss has like a one-on-one with us at different times. And I'll be having a one-on-one with him reasonably soon here, and I'm thinking I might bring this up, because, you know, I'm good with doing it. I'm even back to back if I need to. Like, that's a lot of money I'm missing out on, thousands of dollars. So, kind of pisses me off just a wee little bit. And since the boss man ain't gonna do anything about it, you know, I mean, that's why we have the one-on-ones with the next guy up the ladder. So I'm thinking I might just bring this up. Like, even if it means I end up having to do the managing of this, because it used to be one of the other guys in our team, and then for whatever reason it changed to the boss. And then this is happening. And on top of that, because I dug through the stats from middle of last year, which is as far back as the app stores data, and he has had way more. So he doesn't get a lot of stats. He got about the same amount as me, but he has got massive amounts of just on-call time compared to anybody else on the team, which is a little strange. And when I worked out the total hours, including, you know, like the weekends and the stats, like you get 2 hours on weekends and 1 hour on weekdays, and if it's a statutory holiday, you get the whole day. So I worked all that out to see who's doing what, not just how many days they got it, but what the hours worked out to. And yeah, he actually, one of the other guys, because oddly enough, one of the other guys gets like he's got the next lowest amount. Like I'm the lowest, and this other guy, he's got the next amount, which is still like 30 some hours more than me, 30 days basically more than me of on call, and he's got like 10 of 10 stats since last June or July there, which is weird. Oddly, he was the guy that was doing it before, so I wonder when it changed, but he's got 4 this year even, so the next closest guy has 4, and then there's me and the boss at, I think the boss has 2 and I've got 1. So, like, so yeah, I'm just getting a little salty about some of this shit. It's pissing me off, so I'm thinking I'm gonna bring this up with the big boss when I have my one-on-one with him. I'm pretty sure I'm safe putting this out there, because they're never gonna, none of those guys know I stream or anything, so that's fine. But, I don't know, I gave him a chance. I mentioned it, and I would have been good just getting the 1 of the 2 here, but nope. He didn't want to give it up. Put me off, so... But bump. Now I'm going up the chain. And we'll see how that goes. Anyway, that's my little sad story for today. Oh, this is going to be a pain in the ass. At least this guy's got 4-wheel or all-wheel drive. I don't think he's got... No, he doesn't have a suspension that you can raise any more than it is. Trying to stay kind of on the side here a little bit, might get some extra grip. As long as we don't tip over, which we shouldn't. Not worried about fuel, because I mean this thing is probably full of it. And usually on these kind of jobs you can use the fuel in, like if you're towing a vehicle or a tank like this or something, you can usually use as much of that fuel as you need or want to. But I have had once or twice when I've done that, and then I deliver the thing and it says, oh, it needs to be full, or, you know, so then I gotta I gotta take it somewhere and fill it up, or bring a tanker truck and fill it or whatever. But it's been pretty rare. Most of the time I can just do it, so. Okay, well we made it through the bitch part there. I think that's going to be the hardest part. It should be hopefully fairly easy from here on out. And I always turn off the all-wheel drive when I'm on like an easy road. You go a slight bit faster and use less fuel. So yeah, if you don't need to use all-wheel drive or the differential lock, you can turn them off, turn them off. I've actually found that locking the differential is more helpful usually than even using all-wheel drive. But having both on together is much, much, much better. And all-wheel drive compared to just rear wheel or whatever is also better than that compared to, you know, just without it. But yeah, on these little roads here, like there's good grip and you don't have to worry or whatever. Just turn all that shit off. You get better mileage and speed. Yeah, it's a little soft here, so turn on all-wheel drive. Getting really soft, so turn on differential lock. You also have to watch all-wheel drive. You can see that there, yeah. All-wheel drive you can keep on all the time. But the differential lock, unless you have a vehicle that has it, like it's on all the time, 24/7, those ones are fine. You can't turn it off anyway, but on the ones you can turn it on and off, Um, if you're not spinning your wheels through some gunk or some shit, and you're like on this road here, I wouldn't be doing that, and I have my differential lock on, it'll start to overheat and damage your differentials, and you'll take, it gives you some warning. There's a little thing that pops up, and yes. But yeah, if you don't notice it, or sometimes it happens really fast, yeah, you'll take transmission damage. So I've got about 45 minutes left before I have to go back to work. Kind of almost sort of looking forward to it. I'm working on something that I'm kind of enjoying, oddly enough. We're transitioning from using something called MBAM to manage our BitLocker on our computers to something called Workspace ONE. And I had to write up a bunch of different scripts and stuff. It's like a bunch of checks and things. And I finally got it working like at the last minute, literally the last minute yesterday at work. I was testing, and it worked on the one test machine. I've got a bunch of tests I still have to do today, testing different scenarios. You know, user logged in, user not logged in, online, offline, if it's a VDI, a virtual machine. For physical, we don't want to do virtual machines. They're encrypted in a different way. Things like that. I got a bunch. I have a list of things I got to check. But yeah, yesterday I checked it. Oh yeah, and then on network and off network. So that's part of the reason why we're switching actually to Workspace ONE, because since the whole COVID thing, we have a ton of people working from home, like me, although they force us to come in at least twice a week. So yeah. What day is it? Today's Thursday? Yeah, I'm going in tomorrow. I go in Mondays and Fridays, unless it's that EDO week, or day off week, in which case I go in Monday and Thursday. But yeah, so I've got to check that it works on machines that are off the network and ones that are on network. Yesterday it was an off network one here I have at the house that I brought home. It worked. Got it all nicely done. I just have to pull a list of the machines, divide it up into some groups. So I'll do small groups first, right, to make sure everything's working, and then gradually get bigger. Although in this case I think I'm going to increase the size dramatically as I go. So it'll be a short migration. But yeah, we've got about 10,000 machines, so. But yeah, so I pull a list, put it in a text file, and I run a script on my machine here, which does a bunch of stuff. Some prep stuff, and basically adding the machine to Workspace ONE as far as this one needs to be now managed for BitLocker. And then I've got a bunch of stuff in Workspace ONE. There's a couple of scripts and whatnot, and those all run and do various things. And then the machine gets encrypted, and I can check. I have set up a thing in there for that, so I can see that which machines are now managed by Workspace ONE. And yeah, I got all that working. It's more work than I was thinking. It always seems like it's not going to be as much work as you think, and then you get into it, and it's like, oh, and then there's this, and there's that, you know, things you didn't consider before. Same when I'm working on my car, actually. You think, oh, changing the brakes, no fucking problem. And then, you know, I'm taking off the rear brakes, and I get down there, and it's like, there's frozen bolts. And it takes me like 2 days to get them off or something, and I'm, you know, because I don't want to, I've got big breaker bars and stuff, but the last thing you want to do is rip the head off a bolt. Because then you're going to have an even harder time getting that fucking thing out, what's left of it, right? Still in the hole, but now there's no head to turn. So Yeah, so I take my time trying to get that without breaking stuff. And it can take a while. Just using a torch and penetrating oil and bashing it with a hammer. And then you try different things and turning it on as well as turning it off. That's actually something good to do. You kind of twist it a little bit like you're tightening and then off. You're basically just trying to break the rust seal there. Get the damn thing moving and maybe, you know, break it up a bit so that the oil can get in there. Yeah, so that you know, so there's things like that. It takes a while, and then you discover that you're missing a part that you need. Like in my case, taking off the rears wrecks the hubs. Well, actually, I was doing the brakes. I don't really need to remove the hub for the brakes. Like changing the calipers and stuff, not just the pads, but I changed the rotors and the calipers and everything. This time around, anyway, I did, because they were pretty bad. Corrosion from the shit they put on the roads. But I also, there's a thing called a dust shield that sits behind that. Protects other components from brake dust and stuff, and protects the brakes from various things too, like the same corrosive crap on the roads or whatever. But on the rears, that dust shield sits behind the hub, which is the thing the tire spins on, basically. And things I read so you could take it off without having to replace it. Turns out that's not the case, like 90% of the time. It pulled the hub off but left the race on, and it was just, so the hub was just toast, the bearing. So I replaced that, and while I was at it, I replaced the stub axles, which is the thing the hub sits on, and because I've got the old ones, they're still in decent shape. They were rusty, but for the most part, they're fine. They're still really good, and so I oiled that up because the shaft part was still nice and clean, shiny, because it was inside the hub, obviously. Oil that up so it doesn't get rusty, and then the rest of it took most of the rust off. There's still surface rust on it, but I found a product that you can put on that changes the rust into this kind of a black crystal that helps prevent future rust. Oh wait, probably have to bring that right up. There we go. Stage complete. What is next? Stage. Inside trailer. Oh, way the fuck up here, eh? Gonna deliver it there? Okay. Do I have something here that can do that? He could probably do it, and yeah, you can do it. Oh. Yeah, that's fine. God, I hate that when you're over a building and it just shoots you up into the air. Okay, so we want to go... down the road here, then we're going to go down here. This might be fun. He's a decent truck, but he is on the smaller side, so we'll see how well he handles this. Let's see if I can get over here. This looks like a road. See, this guy, he's got all-wheel drive all the time. Huh. And the differential's also locked all the time. I can't turn it on or off. But yeah, so I can, like normally, all-wheel drive you can use no matter what gear you're in. But the locking differential on a lot of vehicles, if it's the ones you turn them on and off, you can only use it when you're in a low gear. So the normal automatic and high will pop you out of that lock differential. So you can't go very fast. But with these guys, with the all-time all-wheel drive and lock differential, or just a lock differential. You can go as fast as you want, and on these normal roads and all kinds of shit, and you don't take damage, doesn't overheat your transmission or the differential or anything. That's really annoying right there. Fucking take damage. Holy shit, I'm almost out of fuel. Yeah, well, you know what I should have did too with that other truck? I should have fueled up before I dropped off that thing. Yeah, he's starting to chug. He's running out. Oh, he's got two there. Interesting. Stuck on a curb. So we'll see how well this guy does. Sometimes he's surprising. Gotta be careful not to go too fast around corners, or the trailer will swing out wide and pull my back end around and maybe flip me over and stuff. And these tires have shit grip on paved roads. Nice if we could fix this fucking bridge. I wonder if that's one of the jobs. I should look that up. See if I can find it. Come on, dude. Sometimes those tree branches are like iron bars. There's no getting past them, no matter how powerful your truck is or any of that shit. Okay, let's go a little slower here. Sometimes spinning the wheels is the worst thing you can do. You lose grip. And you actually end up going faster if you just slow it down a bit. It's got over half an hour, we're still good. But yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to getting that done, and then I can start planning to do it to everybody else. Well, one of the weird things, when I was first testing this a couple weeks back, when I'd enable like the takeover from MBAM to Workspace 1 for taking care of BitLocker, machines that would switch over would kind of blank the screen once or twice. And I was looking into this. Apparently it happens. I don't know. It's the Windows Explorer service restarts for some reason sometimes when the switchover happens. And that causes your desktop to refresh. And if you've got like an open file browser or something, it might close it, but all your other stuff, I don't know if it minimizes or not, but anything else you've got running should be fine. But you know, if I'm doing this to 10,000 people, it could be a little problematic. Having everybody's screen black out once or twice for a second or two might generate some calls to the help desk, but in my test yesterday, it didn't do it. So, I don't know, but I'm going to be keeping an eye on that during my testing here, see if it happens again. If it's like a, once in a while thing, it happens to the odd person, then it's not a big deal. If it's happening to everybody, that's a problem. I'll have to address that somehow. Come on, dude. Gotta be getting close. Yeah, 116, 115. Oh, we're in it now. Those little bushes are weird. Sometimes they get caught on stuff and they're like the best thing to be winched to, and other times they suck. It's kind of a 50-50 with them. Yeah, it's just down here. Oh wait, that's not it. That's over there. I think though that we're pretty close. It doesn't give you a distance on that though, just these waypoints. Hmm. Yeah, here we go. Let's get out of the mud. In real life, you don't want to be parked in water anyway, or mud. Here it's just the vehicle sinks in when it's not moving, so it could become a problem, possibly, but yeah. Yeah, let's look if there is... is this the one? Yeah, this is the one with the broken highway. Is there... It's water tanks, all boarded up. Another map. That's the power thing. Probably also, yeah. Okay, derailed. Placing damaged track. Okay, so nothing in there. More towers. Nope. Watch point I could care less about right now. It's all connected. Wait a minute, is this it? Nope. Nope. Don't think so. Water monitoring, I doubt it. Okay, I don't think any of those have anything to do with rebuilding this bridge. It could be there's no job that does that, but... Bum, bum, bum. 2 towers again, cooling towers, yeah, don't care. Water stations, don't care. Nope. like that it doesn't tell you what the deal is, but toxic waste, power lines, warehouse access. That needs power lines too, so we might want to look at getting... Okay, that's this one. This one gives you warehouse access to power lines 1. This one also. Power grid, which is this one. Oh, this one needs a bunch. Okay, we'll go back to that in a bit. 2 towers, cooling towers again. Nuclear power plant built. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Power lines 1 needs power grid. Power grid needs spin me around, static pressure, and towers 1. Spin me around, static pressure, and towers 1. So we should do this. It'll give us access to a warehouse, which is always good, makes things easier down the road. So let's do that, except in the flatland. Let's go to the flatland, see what's available. Okay, we have to deliver the stuff there. And we can get something over here. 2 small pipes. I'm pretty sure these pipes take up 2 spots each, so I need something with 4 free spots. I could use that. There's a truck that has 4 spots on it. I'm just looking to see if I've already got it out in the field, because I did before. Nope, I must have put them away. Okay, there's a garage here. Oh, and there's something here too. Let's see, concrete blocks. These ones take up 1 spot each. Yeah, it says ×1. No small pipes, oversized cargo. Oh, it's got that too, and that's a 4. 2 things I need a 4 for. 4, 4. What's the trailer store? There's a trailer store. I could grab a 6-size trailer. Grab those, so that's 4, and then 2 more. I could come down here and grab concrete blocks. Let's do that. And the sun's right in my eyeballs. Alright. Who's next? He's slow, but he's not bad. Let's put on the... Do we have a high? There it is, saddle high. What else do we got? Trunk supplies we already got. The loading crane. Oh, they put it way at the back, so I can't put on the high and the crane. Whatever. Alright, so first things first. Heading down this way. Bum, bum, bum. Going to the trailer store, then we're coming back. And we'll go up there first. Get that. Then we need to come back. Probably the easiest way is to come back down this way. Head down here. Or, you know what? I could just fucking deliver it. I mean... Oh, but if I'm doing that, the 6-size trailer is going to be a waste of time. So that's 4. This is 2. Look, am I going to be saving any time coming down this way? Probably not. Let's try something different. Small pipes. I don't think you can stack those. So I'm just wondering if I could stack them, that'd be perfect. I could take the 2 of them with a 2. I can't remember if they're like a pyramid shape or I don't. They may not be. Let's it's different. Oh, he does have a crane at the front too. Front or back? Probably better to have it at the front since it seems to be. Yeah. All right. Going down the road. It's good to have these bridges done. I'll stop, get some gas just in case. Cranes can come in really handy sometimes. You can use it like as an arm to push you around if you need to, or to push other vehicles or whatever. They can't winch onto trees and stuff, but you can use them as like a weight counterbalance too. So if there's something weird where you need, you know, like you're tipping really far to the right, going across a hill or something, you can swing your crane way out to the left and it'll help to kind of keep you from tipping to the right. What? I got 20 minutes before work, I'm good. Oh. Tired and thirsty. Fascinating. Drive my little truck down the road. Whoop. Little trick if you want to get going as fast as the vehicle will go. You have to get it rolling first because it won't do it from the stop, but get it rolling a little bit, then go put it into high gear like that, and then put it down into automatic. And that gets you to your top speed a lot faster than just rotating from gear to gear to gear up with the automatic alone. Oh, perfect. Oh, wait, that's medium. Oh, good. The picture shows it's a pyramid. That's what I was thinking. This is gonna work. Yeah. Put the other over there. Give it to me. Hey, give it to me. What the hell? Oh, it's that fucking bug again. It's not gonna let me pick that up. It's not giving me the option. Piece of shit. Alright, I know how to get around this. It sucks, but... Back to the main menu, give it a second or two. Back into the game. And I gotta grab a drink. It's funny when you do this, it seems to take longer to load back into the game than it did the very first time you started the game. Not sure what the deal is with that, but there we go. Close enough for government work. This is supposed to be... never mind. I got her. God damn it. I can't. Alright. Give me a second here. All right. Looks like she's having an issue with viewing the stream. Could be something to do with the browser. I turned on hardware acceleration in the browser, so it's on all the time instead of using the CPU for doing graphics and whatnot. It'll use the video card. But she's having some kind of issues. Maybe there's a problem with running a game at the same time? I don't know. Could be. Might just have to disable some of the hardware acceleration stuff. Sounds like it's a problem, a known issue with Fedora and Ubuntu. And she's using Mint, which is based on Ubuntu. So for you, for those who don't know, those are Linux distributions, and yeah, usually Linux is way better than Windows. But it's an operating system like anything else, so you can have problems, and apparently this could be one. So I will have to look into that. So the only thing I gotta watch with this is that he's gonna be a little more top heavy, more tippy. So this low gear, high gear deal there on the side, or the low gear options, basically lets you go almost top speed in low gear, which is kind of nice. You can put on your lock differential and you can go faster than you can with a normal low gear transmission. If you need it, but yeah. I forgot I changed that on this because I can't remember which transmission I had in this originally, but it was pretty slow, but this is not half bad. He's going pretty good. He's got some decent speed with this one. Another thing I've been looking at lately is getting a pellet gun, specifically a PCP gun, which is so there's pellets and there's BBs. BBs are not very accurate, and they're generally they're more like the kid's toy, generally, and they generally are, or entirely are, CO2 canisters, right? Those little CO2 canisters you stick in there. And the pellets use those as well, or can. There's lots of different guns. Lots of different guns, and some of them are very expensive. But yeah, so the CO2 canisters, I didn't want to go with that, or BBs. BBs because they kind of suck, and CO2 canisters because you can't refill them. There's ones where you can get adapters you can hook up to your gun and you can carry it around with you, compressed air kind of thing. But that's kind of unwieldy and annoying. Then there's these, there's pump action ones where you pump them up. I remember when we were a kid we had one like that. You pump it a bunch of times to build up the air pressure and then you can fire. Those are generally kind of low power ones. Same with the CO2. Oh right, it's gonna stop and get some gas. Looks like this guy doesn't use a lot of gas. I forgot about that. And then there's spring ones too, which use the spring, which are not very powerful. And then there's the PCPs, which is basically you have a little tank attached to the weapon that can have up to like 4,000-ish PSI in it. Like it stores a lot of power. You can't use a standard air pump to pump those up either. You need special pumps that can handle the high pressure. Because like I have one fancy one in my garage for doing whatever I do in there, an air compressor, but it's only good for maybe 250 PSI, 150, 250, something like that. And that's, I mean, we're talking, you know, 3,000-ish, 4,000, whatever PSI these guns takes. You wouldn't be able to do it with one of those compressors, so you gotta buy a different one for that. But, and you can use, there's like it's like a bicycle one too. There's a manual one you can use for pumping those up as well. But it gives you the option of, you know, being self-sufficient, like being able to do it whenever, not having to go out. You know, you get a couple of shots out of your CO2 canisters and then you gotta go buy some more. Like, that's kind of stupid and annoying and expensive. Don't want to do that. Okay, concrete blocks and oversized cargo. I think they're both here. Yeah. Go back this way. Probably the fastest way there. So I'm looking at getting one of those. But the problem is here in Canada, if it's above 500 feet per second on the projectile, it's considered a firearm, and then you need a license with the government and stuff. It's just like, fuck those guys. I don't want anything to do with the government. I don't want them tracking my shit, knowing what I have, none of that. So I was looking at, like, you can get ones that are just below that, legal in Canada, and they're still decent. Because they have ones that are like 1,000 feet per second and stuff, like, and they cost like $2 grand. like these are actual scary firearms. They're as good as any gun, like a normal gun, as far as that. They're extremely accurate. They're quieter. They're interesting anyway. So yeah, so I'm looking into that, and I found a nice pistol that can change into a bullpup carbine as well, with an attachment. It's pretty sweet. It's like getting 2 guns in one. It's decent quality. And then I'm looking at the pellets, and I'm thinking, okay, you know, if you go through your pellets, you got to go buy more pellets. And they're lead. And I was looking, so I've been looking into how to cast your own or create your own. And it's a whole thing. It's doable. You have to collect your pellets, so if you're like target shooting and stuff, you know, shoot into a box full of soft stuff. So you can collect your pellets after you're done, and you can't reuse them because they're lead, so they're soft, they deform. And depending on the type of pellet, like there's all kinds, hollow point and flat nose and pointies, and like and things that penetrate deeper, and there's even exploding ones. Those were interesting. I don't know if I'd be able to make those though. Maybe? That'd be a lot more chemistry and cooking and stuff involved. Whatever. A lot more work on that. But I mean, as it is, you gotta collect your pellets, or any lead really, but you gotta keep the lead kind of like the same. For any, you melt it down, and you buy molds, which are extremely hard to find, by the way, discovered. Actually, most of that stuff, the guns, even the pellets and stuff, a lot of it is out of stock everywhere. And it's like, what the fuck is that all about? Like, like about half the inventory on any site I went to, for whatever it is out of stock. So, like, what the hell? But yeah, you melt the stuff down, and you basically want to keep, like, if it's you've got a brand of pellet that you bought, you just want to melt that specific brand down to keep the lead types separated, apparently, because there's different types of lead. Some are harder and softer, and impurities and whatever. I don't know if it matters that much. That's probably being a bit too anal, but that's what the general gist was. I was like, man. Plus, you got to make sure that when you do it, let's do some repairs here. And I probably will have this, like, especially if you're melting down used ammo, there's going to be debris and stuff in there. So you want to clean them up as much as possible, and then when you're melting it down, well, there's crap that floats to the top, and you got to pull that out. Skim it off the top. And you have to do it in a well-ventilated area, because you don't want to get lead poisoning. Guns go? Yeah, it doesn't matter. And then, yeah, you pour it in the mold, and depending on the mold and the type that you're making, it can be kind of a pain in the ass to get them right. And the molds only make like 2, 4, 6, or maybe 8. I think I found one that does 8. So I've been looking at that. But after you make them, like the ones I was looking at, because they're, like I said, they're hard to find. So the one I'm looking at are more slugs than the typical pellet type. They're more like bullets. But they're light enough for my weapon, so that's good. You get better range, accuracy, and penetration, I think, with these. But they have to be exactly matched to your barrel, which can be a huge pain in the ass. And I mean exact. I think we're talking super, like they gotta fit in there just perfect, so you're not losing power on blow by or they're getting stuck in there. And even, you know, if you buy two of the same weapon from the same manufacturer at the same time, there's no guarantee that the barrels are going to be exactly the same. We're talking like fractions of a millimeter here, like, yeah. So, but there is a way around that. You get these sizing dies that you can push them through to, after you cast them, to make sure they're exactly right for what you need. And then there's also, what is it, swagging? You basically, there's a press that you use to push in the rear to kind of balloon it out a bit. So it looks more like a typical pellet, and it catches the air better, makes a good seal with the barrel. The barrels on the pellet guns too are rifled, so they spin it as it goes down. You gotta clean them every once in a blue moon, the barrels, because just get rid of extra lead and stuff that might be on the sides. Okay, concrete blocks, I need 2 of those. Oversized cargo is 4, so I definitely won't be able to take that unless... No, I could do it over there and then tow it, like with the crane there. I could pull it along. But that's not great, because when I get here, you have to have it actually loaded on your vehicle to deliver it, and he doesn't have 4 spots, so either way I need a vehicle with 4, and I'll either grab a machine and grab a trailer, or there's one truck that has 4 spots on its bed that I could use, and I might use him because he'll be probably the quickest and easiest way to do it. Oh man. And I think I'm going to have to call it right there because it's time to go to work. Which blows. Alright. Stupid work. So there's a slim possibility I might be on tonight. Probably not, but maybe. And again, probably... Oh no, tomorrow morning I'm driving into work, so yeah, I'll need the time to be driving, so... it'll probably be... Well, tomorrow night I do MechWarrior, but I almost never stream that anymore, because it's just us complaining and me getting salty, because the game sucks. And then, so yeah, probably Saturday will be the next time I'll be streaming. So, I will see you guys then, and have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.